Hello, Stephen with Singular, and today I want to go over the Output Manager. It shouldn't be a very long video. Very handy tool that you can use for making a sort of a locked off URL destination for your applications. What that means is, let's say you've got your setup, maybe you're using vMix or OBS or what have you, and you don't want the URL to change. The URL that's coming out of your Singular Studio, you want that to stay constant. So check this out. Go to your dashboard. Okay, I want you to go to upper right hand corner, go to your Output Manager, and it's in this Output Manager that you create outputs. So I'm going to make a new one, and I'm just going to call this Output 1. And I'll create it. Okay, so don't worry about the exclamation point. That has to do with, I'm in a free account right here. So that has to do with our payment and what kind of an account you have. So let's go back to the dashboard. To get back to the dashboard, upper right hand corner, dashboard. Okay, let's just download a composition from the marketplace so I can show this pretty quick. I'll go back to Glass, my old sort of, I'll take baseball. It's my go-to composition that I bring down quite often. And now I'm going to open it up. Okay, so this application has its own unique output URL. In fact, every application that you make gets its own output URL dedicated, right? So that's this guy right here, upper right-hand corner. If I go copy, right? And then I open up a new browser tab and paste it. This is the output from baseball. So for example, let's bring in a lower third. And I go back over to my output. There's the lower third. Okay. So, but again, this application, if I change applications, go to a new one, it's gonna move around on me, so to speak, right? So let's say if I go back to the dashboard, I don't know, let's just duplicate this app, the same one, just duplicate it, and I'll go open up this one. Okay, so again, this output URL is the one that's up here in the upper right hand corner is unique to this app. So what you want to do, if you want a dedicated destination for your productions, go ahead and close this one. Again, I created an output in my Output Manager. Let's go to back to the app. So I'm going to select it up here, upper right hand corner, select Output 1. Now when I do that, this output will not change. So what is that output URL? Well, we're smart enough in the control app to know that now this output URL, if I go open, is unique. It's not going to change. In fact, it's different than the first one that I made. You can see the token in the middle of the URL. It's changing. Okay, so what's another way to get at that? Another way to look at it is if I go back to the dashboard and I go back to Output Manager, right? This is maybe an easier way. I can simply go to this. What's the status? Here's the output URL right here. I can see the status, and I can see with this green icon that there is a control application connected to it, right? And if I go to status, it'll actually tell me I've got this application, the Glass Baseball, with the ID. That ID right there, well, it is this number right here, this unique number right here in the URL. So again, back to the Output Manager. Oh, I'm jumping around here on you. If I want to get the output URL that's not going to change, it's always on Output 1, it's right here, output URL. Okay, pretty straightforward. If I go back to the app and let's go ahead and close these outputs. I'm jumping around on you, apologize here. Back to the composition. If I detach the current output, don't have it connected, right? And then I go back to my manager, you'll see that it doesn't have the green broadcast icon there. There's no application connected to it. Another thing of note is if I do not, I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. Let's go ahead and delete this completely. Okay, I'm going to go back to my control app. I'm going to refresh it, refresh the browser page. And watch here, upper right hand corner, there is no option for selecting an output from the Output Manager because there's one does not exist. So again, back here, Output Manager. Again, it's located up here, upper right hand corner. I'll make a new one. I'll call it Output 1. Okay. And now it's waiting for an app to be attached to it. So this URL will stay constant. I think that about covers it. So again, one more thing of note, if I go back to the app, and now you see I made the control app, I made the output in the Output Manager, but I go back to the control app and I don't see the drop down, simply refresh the browser. The browser needs to be informed, the browser tab needs to be informed that there's an output, right? So select output, go to output 1, and we are connected to that output. Again, back to the dashboard. You can see it gives me the icon, the status. I can even see, as I mentioned earlier, I can go to status and I can see that it's connected. Now, if I make a new one, just one more thing before I wrap this one up. If I make a new control app, let's say I just duplicate this one. Oh, actually, that's the duplicate I already made. Let's open it. So now I have 2 control apps open. If I try to connect this one, this new one, to output 1, it's going to prompt me. It's going to say, whoa, 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 wait a minute here. You got an app connected to it. Again, that ID corresponds with this ID right here, right, in the URL. And now I can kick it out or not. And that gives you a prompt so that somebody is sending their app to a specific destination that you're prompted not to kick them out, so to speak. So I think that covers it. I got some more cool videos coming up, so thank you for watching.